We'll start like that and just have them kind of at an angle there. And feels good. And let your spine just really take to the mat. And that might mean that your lumbar spine is that nice curve in it. Your shoulders and your hips are feeling really heavy and just releasing deeply here. So besides taking care of our some of our fragile aspects of our bodies, I heard from Evelyn that thighs and hips would be good. Anything else, Evelyn?
No, that's good.
Okay. And besides just taking care and making your modifications, Harriet, any specific needs for you?
Okay.
Anything else that you need besides that? You're good. Okay. And Chris?
Shoulders and hand, that's
Okay.
that's what
Yeah. That's good. And so as our legs are straight and at this angle, you might have the legs kind of released and that you're not holding into your hips or your thighs right now. And if you are releasing, then your toes are probably out and your heels are in. And you just feel this lightness. Maybe feel a little tingling of the toes too. And then the heaviness comes into our spine. Connectivity. So we need those dualities, we need the lightness, and we need the heaviness. Generally, our lower bodies taking on the heavy responsibilities and the upper bodies taking on the lighter job. And it takes on that lighter by stacking itself up one bone on top of the other. That's why it's good when we are sitting up that we find straight spine, similar to what we have right now on the ground. And then take your arms, spread them out so that they're at the shoulder level, the palms are up. You just start as a really small little movement here with breath. So inhale, lift your arms up away from the gravity of the earth, fingers towards the sky, and then just let them float down on your exhale. All the time here, taking a little tuck in the chin so that we keep that cervical spine nice and long. My head always wants to tilt so that the chin points towards the ceiling and puts a little extra weight into the neck. Takes it out of alignment. Use those breaths. Maybe that ujjayi breath. Yes. Next time you bring your arms up, hands up. Let's go ahead and take the palms and face them away from you. And let's make fists and then flick fingers up high towards the sky. Big fist and flick. Fist and flick. So in doing this, we're working in the hands, but you're also getting into your forearm muscles, especially the most that you come into a squeeze. And we're also just releasing energy here by this flicking of the fingers. So you need to feel there's a few more flips and this. And speed it up just a bit. Fingers extend. Ooh, and open up. Let your hands come back down, palms up at your shoulder height here. And then take one foot and bend the knee, and the foot comes to the edge of the chair. And from here, we're gonna go ahead and just let that knee that's bent open up. So that we open up that externally rotating in that hip. And then we bring the knee back into neutral, and then take it across your body. It won't go all the way across, but it goes towards that straight leg. Take it up. Exhale it over. There you go. Bring it up and inhale, neutral. Take it across, exhale. Keep going slow. Deliberate. Notice the rotation that's going on. Just keeping things mellow with your breath. Dragging out that exhale. May let you open up a little bit more to either that external rotation or that internal play across your body. And the next time you're back into neutral, take your foot off the chair, bring that knee closer in towards your shoulder. If you like, you can take your hands, interlace underneath that knee and bring yourself into a squeezing in into your knee to shoulder. Oh, yeah. Feel that in the glutes. I think you're going to feel it in that leg, the hip. And then release just a little bit and take one hand to the outside of your knee, the other arm extends out to the ground, and take that across a little bit more across your body. Okay. So your hip is going to lift up, let the knee that's coming over, your shoulders grounded, and then bring your knee back to neutral. Take the hand from the ground, take it to the inside of your knee, the other hand comes down, and now try to open up a little bit farther here than we did earlier. Bring it on up. Let's take one more squeeze and hug into ourselves here. And at this point, lift your head off the ground. Lift your shoulders off the ground and curl your chin into your chest. Flex your foot, nose to knee, or maybe forehead to knee. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears, yeah. And you'll feel that opening in the side of your shoulders and your neck. And you're releasing a little core, this curling, slowly letting your shoulders come back down and your head come down. Release those arms back out to the side. Release that leg long. Put it on a chair. Have your hips be even, so you might just need to reposition a little bit. Rock your hips left and right a little bit. Legs are both still extended, and you're just kind of giving yourself this little wiggle of the hips. And then bend the other leg. And this is the one that I'll be modifying. So just bend it to the point that the knee feels right for you. And let that knee open up. So let it fall open. And bring it back. And let it fall in. It's interesting. Let's keep going. Inhale it up. Exhale it out. But when you have an injury, I believe it's still important to do something, right? Work to where you feel that, okay, that's my point. I'm going to still take that stagnation out of there, but I'm not going to go past that point. And so it's really good biofeedback to read your body when you have an injury and or you're recuperating from surgery or something. Just read your body. Keep reading your breath right now. Let's do one more of those where we bring that knee into neutral. Open it up on an exhale. Take it back up. And take it over on an exhale into the center, past your center of your body. And bring it up. And then take that knee in towards your shoulder. I'm just going to extend my leg up. And bring that knee down, weighted into your chest. Hands can interlace underneath your knee or behind your leg. And you're giving yourself a nice hug. And you're opening up the back side of your thigh there into that.
What's that called? The back side of our thigh again. Come on.
Hamstring, thank you.
Oh, is that the same?
Hamstring, oh yeah, his bone hamstring, yeah. Good. And then take one hand to the outside of that knee and the other hand to the ground. And take your body over. Take that hip over. So we're coming into a twist and your hip will lift off the ground and we're going to come farther inward than we did before. So we really get a good feeling maybe on that outside of our hip. Bring that leg back up with the knee bent and take your hand to the inside of your knee and take it on over. Your other arm is on the ground and open it up into a nice open external rotation. And then take it up. And then place that leg back on the chair. That's good. And then let's take both legs straight up. And so Ellen did that earlier. Let's point toes towards the ceiling and flex and point. And maybe squeeze toes as you point. You can squeeze the toes if that feels good. And maybe you go into the ball of your foot that pushes away. And so find something where you're going to feel that on the bottoms of your feet. And on your ankles. And reminding myself to tuck my chin so that I'm not overextending my hands. And let's take some circles. Again, just like we did with our forearms earlier, maybe with these circles. On the legs, you might be feeling this in your calf. Let's all head around the other way. At least I am here. Go ahead, point and open up the inside of our legs. Keep going back up, and this time flex, and then open up and point. Just keep going with that kind of flow in your breath and movement in your legs.
So if I'm doing a tug in the lower back, is there a modification or just keep?
Yes.
One
Keep your knees bent. Yes. And you can still do this with knees bent. You can also rise up a little bit with your shoulders off the ground, Chris. Then you'll push your lower spine into the ground. You'll get a little more core work there. Okay, that might be a good thing to do there too. But good, thanks for asking. So it's really good about these in-person classes. Okay, and then break your legs up. And let's go ahead and with your foot, just push that chair away. And extend your legs long on the mat. And your hands down, just coming into a bit of a resting pose here for just a few breaths. Find ourselves moving from the ground up. in, taking one arm over away from your head and turn over onto that side, okay? And come into fetal position. So whichever way feels good to you. One knee on top of the other, and your knees are bent to where they feel. Feels right for you. And let's just keep toes together, all right? And just lift your knee up. So the toes stay together, knee lifts up, and then bring it down. Toes stay together. Yeah, so keep your toe together. Up, and then down. And that's just going to work a different isolation of muscles. Then we're going to take away that toe here a bit. Inhale and exhale. Yeah, that's right. Good. Good. And now go ahead, flex into your feet. Lift that whole leg up and take it down. Yep. Lift it on up, so you're going to feel it right in there. So it's going to be different, and in either way is okay. If you lift and your knee comes up towards the ceiling, that's going to be one set of muscles, okay? If you take your leg down and you keep the knee more without opening up the hip, that's going to be another set of muscles, okay? So either way, Chris, you're doing it more with an external, more externally rotating that hip, and that's okay. But if you just keep the knee here instead of here, you're going to feel it in a different way. So like this. Yeah, then go ahead and bend both. Put your feet together. And when you lift, just lift everything together. Lift the whole. No, but that's a good one. Let me see. That's a good one. No, just lifting here. So the difference is, yeah, you're going to feel that more. It's a little more controlled if you lift it without taking the knee upward. But taking the knee upward, like I said, you're going to do another set. Okay, like this. I can't get this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And now lift, you guys, and let's make circles. Let the knee lead. Yes. Okay. The difference is knee leading or foot leading on that one, and then reversing. Is anybody feeling it in their hip? Okay, good. Oh yeah, okay, good. All right, and then take that high, extend your leg long, and then make an arc. Take the big toe to the ground. With an exhale. Bring your foot up on an inhale. Take it down in an arc on the exhale, toe points to the ground. Yeah, 2 more. And if it gets to be too much, just stop and start going into pounding on that big hip muscle there. Go ahead and come into bend. Take that knee down and go ahead and take some little pounds there. Then we're just going to flip onto the other side. However you want to do that, I'm going to just turn all the way around like this so I can still be facing you guys. And this, my tender knee is the one on top, so I might not be as active with it. And also be supporting your head with your arm so that your neck's not getting kinked. So keep toes together and just open up. These are called clamshells. Okay. And again, it is less movement, but you're getting into some of the muscles that are a little bit different than when we take the whole foot off. Let's do 2 more. And then flex your feet and lift the leg up, straight up. And you feel that right in that muscle meat area. And then take it down. Lift it on an inhale. Take it on your exhale down. So that means slow, because what we want to do is lift and then drop. But if we take it slow, we're going to feed into all those little muscle fibers a little bit more. And our breath will allow us or help us and guide us to take it a little bit slower. Let's do 2 more. Take this last one really slow. And then lift and do one more time. And make those circles. And should be feeling that in the hip. Thanks. Thank you, Evelyn, for always reminding me that how important hips are. I'm switching my direction. Hips are the center, right, of everything, of attaching our upper body and our lower body and helping us to do everything we do. And then lift up and lengthen the leg out. Take it in an arc. Toe comes. Maybe we see that right in front of our gaze. Lift with those muscles in the hip. Take it on down. Exhale. Exhale down. And 2 more. And then lift, bend, and bring it on down. Oof. And go ahead and do a little bit of your own self-massage there. Good, 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 good. Okay, let's take ourselves up a little bit higher off the ground. Bring yourself up and let's come into a seated position. And let's start in Tadasana. And that's probably all the farther I'm going to go. If you want to come into your Baddha Konasana, bringing the legs in farther, you certainly can. But wherever you are, let's try to work on those straight spines, okay? And the farther we bring those knees or feet in closer to us, the harder it is to maintain that straight spine without holding on, right? It's easier to hold on, and that's fine, whatever works for you. But we're just going to do a little flow. Exhale down. Let your head and head go. Inhale up, hold on to knees. Open apart. Exhale down. Bring yourself up in. Exhale, take it down. Just keep going, your breath. And 2 more, you guys. Into our backs now. Finally open those up a little bit more. A little bit of twist. Your leg down. And I can't count it. I just did 3. It's okay. And I come up. And speaking of twists, let's do that before we get onto hands and knees. Take one hand to one knee. Take your hand behind you, push down, and that will help remind you how to have a straight spine. Look on back. Bring yourself around slowly, tailbone down, crown up. See if you're really, really straight in that spine. This will tell you push down. If you have to move a lot, then your spine was needing a little bit more support and assistance. Go ahead, take it on back and look, twist, and then slowly release with your head. and the rest of your body. Good. All right, let's come to hands and knees. I'm going to be keeping one of my legs a little bit longer, you guys. Just so you know. What do you want me to tell you? All right, so on hands and knees, again, I take my one leg back just because I'm being good to myself. But we're gonna do cat and cow here, and I can do it this way too. So go ahead, drop your bellies, look up, inhale. Exhale, curl, tuck, round. And that's what I love about cat cow. It's so versatile. You can do it so many different formats. And this is where making sure you're protecting those wrists, okay, Harriet? And one thing that I found is rolling the mat and going like this, because that protects the wrists and your fingertips really push into the ground. The other thing is to take this, and I'm not sure if that would work with you. The other thing is to come onto forearms. It's just, you can still do cat and cow on forearms, okay? So find what is best for you. And when we go into, just keep going, guys. When we go into down dog, I'm gonna suggest you take a chair and do your down dog and cushion with your mat, or you come on to fists, or you come into dolphin, all right? Then we'll practice dolphin together, just to make sure you know. All right, and then from here, let's go ahead and take our forearms down to the ground. And take your legs from your kneeling position. Go ahead, come to the balls of your feet. Lift your knees off the ground and walk your feet up and in. And now you're in dolphin pose. So this is a good modification, Harriet or anybody else, for wrists. I know when I was doing the pretty challenging Bikram or hot yoga, there was a woman with wrist issues and she would always do dolphin instead of down dog. Okay?
It's actually in here,
It's in that
my
part.
thumb,
Okay,
my whole thumb.
okay,
joint.
so you might want to go this way.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you. Take the pressure onto the outside, okay? Yes, how's that?
yeah, good.
Good, okay, great, I'm glad, because I was thinking wrists, so good. So actually, I like that. I like that on my dolphin too. How are you guys feeling? This is a really good way to stretch out the back of the legs. If you want, you can walk out this, just like you would walk out a down dog. And this is really good too for building strength in the arms, weight bearing.
It's hard.
You think it's harder?
I think it's harder than down dog.
Yeah.
I think it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I have to work on this one,
Yeah,
too.
good.
Yeah, it bothers my ankles.
It bothers your ankles to do
My
this?
shoulders.
Yeah.
To do this?
Mhm.
Well, then go to regular down dog. Everybody take what they need right here. Either dolphin or down dog. And breathe a few more breaths. You'll get out of it pretty soon. I'm going to show you also, Harriet and everybody else, if you want to, doing a forearm plank instead of a regular plank, okay? Would be keeping our hands just like this, and for you here, for the others, maybe like this. And just coming into plank here, forearm plank, right? And it is harder too, I believe, than a regular plank. And you're really working in that ability. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so just so you can see what those are like. And then wherever and however, from down dog or from dolphin, let's go ahead and walk our feet up to the center of the mat, toes out, heels in, and release your hands underneath your gaze and let your heavy head go. So we've got our kind of in this awkward looking position, but we've got a squat going on. We've got our tailbone up and the crown down. And it's kind of like a little half frog position here. So we're not bent too much in the knees. We're gonna really let our head go. Let that neck go. Take it into circles. Reverse in those circles. Take it into some yeses and some nos. Pull in at your navel point because our heads are lower than our hearts, and we want to protect that lower spine and strengthen it by strengthening the core. And then little by little, start to straighten your legs and hang and dangle like a rag doll here. Pull in at your navel. Take your hands to your thighs. Still a little bend in the knees. Press into your thighs and lift your bodies straight up. Chin is at chest until the very end. Head rises slowly. And stand in mountain pose here. Kind of a wide-legged mountain pose. Still kind of about mat's distance, still the toes out, heels in. Just a couple breaths here. We've been down so long, we just want to make sure we're all ready to be in a standing position here. And then let's go ahead, slight bend in the knees or more. You guys can go deeper bend than me, all right? I'm just not gonna go too far, and I'm gonna keep them even when I do mine just because of this. So here, rise up, inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale here. Exhale down and bend. Maybe my hands touch my thighs here. And then do this a few more times. Little flow. Exhale. Taking the width of your feet, the distance, maybe a little farther, you find what works for you. Taking the depth to where it works for you. Doing it with breath. It slows us down. Let's think a little bit. This is more conscious. Two more sets. That's so late. Coming down into that bend that is appropriate for you, the distance appropriate for you. And let's take one shoulder forward and take the other one back and come into a twist. This is something I like to do because usually I get a little pop in my lower spine. Bring yourself back. And take yourself around. And let's do that. 2 more sets. Take it with your breath. And exhaling and like come back. Inhale, say come forward. And then from the center, I'm going to rise up, straight legs, arms up. Exhale, hands come out, shoulder height. And I'm going to take my toes forward. And I've got my feet now on the edges of my mat. On the edges, but following that line. And if you guys want, the next time, let me know, I'll bring another mat out, and then you'll have the same kind of little setup here if you want. I'm going to take one foot out, leave the other one where it is. And then I set myself up now for triangle. I set myself up here for also for warrior 2 and for extended side angle. So let's go with triangle first. I'm gonna pull myself forward, forward, forward. And this is a great place. Chris is reaching for her block. Anybody want a block?
I've got one.
Do you want a block? Okay. And I like the blocks again because they really help me with my stability. So here I go, forward, 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 come on down, hand on any height of that block or on my own anatomy. And I press down or I press inward if I'm on my shin or my ankle, and I open up that upper shoulder, pulling it back and opening up the heart, feeling that extension in that front leg. And then taking myself back and taking that front arm, top arm over, so the fingers point away. And I feel my bicep by my ear, and I extend a little bit more into the side body. And keep that breath going, Chris. Thank you for reminding us. Too often we get into a position, we hold the position, and we hold our breath. And now let's loosen up. Take some circles with that arm. So going from steadiness to moving, and let's take that in the other way. Just let that arm go. Kind of like swimming for Chris. Did you swim today? You are amazing. You are. And then arms, fingers straight up. Let's take our whole body up here. And this leg's getting tired of being straight, so let's bend it. Knee over ankle. Again, finding your distance, length and width of your feet. Where you feel stable here, because now we've moved into the setup for warrior two. From here, we're going to straighten that front leg, lift our arms up, inhale. Exhale, take hand down that back leg, other arm up and reach back into reverse warrior. Both arms up, inhale. Exhale back into warrior two. Find that knee and ankle alignment. It's really pretty. Yep. And then rising up, inhale. Exhale, take it on back. Offering the heart. Bring it up on your in breath. Let's do that 2 more sets. Move to your delight. In warrior two. And from here, my knee is bent, and I'm going to come on down now and take my hand back on that block. Difference now is I have a bent knee instead of a straight leg, and so we call this extended side angle. You take that arm, bicep by your ear again, really make that nice long side of your body. Your hand can go on hip. And where it feels like, and then arm up and rise back into your warrior two. Good, straighten that bent leg, take all toes forward. So you're lining the sides of your feet up in a parallel manner. Arms stay out. Let's do that same thing on the other side. Okay, so you'll need a block over there if you use blocks. But I just take those toes, turn them out. Other foot stays. Make sure I have that length, all right, and the width, distance where I feel stable. I'm not going to feel shaky here. So maybe I need to widen that a little bit more. And remember, this will be the knee. I'm not going to bend too much. So you guys take it to your bend, okay? Yeah, is that the way? Does that feel right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I'm behind you, I just can't.
Yeah. Okay. I know, I get all combobulated too. So here we are, and we're coming into that triangle with the straight legs, right? So I'm kind of over, and then I take that block. Or I take my hand to some part of my leg, maybe to the ground. And working on alignment, so I want to pull those hips and try to stack shoulders. Feeling that lengthening in that front leg. Don't over lengthen though, okay, guys? So you might need to narrow your stance. You might not come down as far. That's why we have all these options. And why we have so many different kinds of bodies. So that everybody can do yoga as long as their mind will let their body make those adjustments. Okay. And from here, extend your bicep by your ear. Pull your shoulder back a little bit, lengthen again through both legs, whole side body. And let yourself spin. Spin that arm around. Find some freedom of movement in the shoulder area there. Let's reverse that. That's why without that swimming, Chris, your shoulders are getting so much work in the water, but you don't realize as much when you're in the water. You can feel it when you come out. And then extend, and then bring those fingers upright. Bring your body upright. And bend into that front knee. Again, I'm not going to be bending too much into that knee, but you guys take your warrior two stance. Take your warrior two glance over those front fingers. Really strong, really powerful here. And let's dance with our breath. Inhale, lengthens the leg, arms come up. Exhale, hand comes onto that back leg, and we come into reverse warrior two. We come up on our in-breath. Come down into that bend with the exhale. Keep going, you guys. Lifting up. That's Let's do two more sets here. Got it. And come into your warrior two. Couple breaths. Lengthen the leg. Turn all toes forward. Find yourself in a good open stance here. And let's go ahead and take a block or your hands to the ground. And from here, just walk yourself forward and stretch out one more time, both sides of the legs and your neck and your back. Fingers rounded or on the block. Feel that opening in your hips and your glutes and the backside of your legs and your neck and your back, your spine, your arms. And then walk your hands or block back and take toes out, heels in, maybe move those feet in a little bit more, come back into a little bitty squat, hands on our thighs. Slowly bring yourself up into standing. Let's bring those feet in and take them underneath our hips, standing in mountain pose. Let's just do a little bit of balancing, okay, by taking ourselves up on the balls of our feet and taking ourselves down. And this is also for the feet, Chris. So if your feet are needing something, take your shoes off, go find a chair or a wall or a countertop and come up and down. It's going to exercise your feet. It's going to stretch your feet. It's going to build your calf muscles, okay? And it helps with balance. Okay? Even if you're holding on to something, it's going to help your balance because you're strengthening your legs and you're getting that muscle memory about what it feels like. When you rise up, see if you can hold it just a little bit. Maybe your arms want to do something as well. See if you can find a focus point. See if you can make yourself really tight. They say the tighter the body, the lighter it can be, the more balance we can find, okay? And it is practice that makes progress, okay? Slowly come down. Good. So we don't have to do any crazy wild things to do balancing. We can just do that. We can also just do, it's 10 till now, Chris. One foot on the ground and lift the other one up. And let's just take, like we did earlier, remember when we were in the chair and we went internal, external, internal, external. Just do a little bit of that. And you're getting that in hip and you're getting it in your balance. And now trying to balance. Let's see if we can take some circles with our hip, knee, leg. Now you ever did that when we were on our sides. Take it out, opposite way. Holding on to yourself or to a chair, to a wall, and let that leg come down. Walk it out a bit. Shake out your hips a little bit. And then we'll do the other side. And I'm going to plant my one foot, I'll lift the other. It's not going to go quite as high as the other one. And I'm going to come in and out. And this shift, right, really shifts your balance, especially when you cross over the center line of your body. And that has a lot of benefits in our brain too, when we cross the center line of our body. So like dancing is so good too. And then from here, see if we can take some circles. And if you flex your foot or point it, it might assist in doing that. Because again, the tighter the body can be, lighter it is. Just find the place on this lovely carpet to focus on. Forgot how nice it was to be in a gray room with gray carpet. Dr. White. Dr. White's good. Good, and then place that foot down, good. And let's go ahead and just take some hip circles here, you guys. Done a lot of like holding things in one place. So let's let ourselves kind of be a little bit more free now and reverse that oppositely. Good. And then let's go into rocking chair. I'm just going to turn this way so guys might be able to see a little better. So feet are parallel, and I just come up here. And I exhale, bend to my knees, and my arms come back. You do not have to let the head come all the way down, because we are going to come up. And if you feel like that something's going to make you dizzy, just come to a flat spine. And I exhale, take myself down, maybe just to that flat spine, crown forward, elbow back, come on up. And exhale as I take myself down. Maybe my head comes down. Bye, Chris. So this is all stuff from here, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. And keep going. So we're just gonna flow here a little bit. Letting our bodies open up to all muscles. Let's do 2 more. To whatever speed your breath is taking you, to whatever depth feels right for you, to whatever opening in the chest feels right for you. Meet me standing up in upward salute. Exhale, hands come down behind me, interlace, squeeze shoulders together, open up my heart and let my hips come forward, my heart lift. Bringing myself up. Stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, bend into my knees slightly, come forward and let my head come down only if that feels right and good for me. Maybe the arms follow. And let yourself forward fold here. With hands in, this is called the Yoga Mudra. We're going to raise our fingers all together. Slowly come up. Not fast. Head was lower than the heart. Bring it up slow. Release. Stand up. Finding our breath. Finding our stability. And we're going to do one more that takes our bodies and lets us just move, and that's the seaweed asana. So let's go ahead and take our feet apart about whatever width feels like uncomfortable, whatever opening feels like I'm not going to fall over. And then I take my arms up, inhale. And I exhale, one arm under the other into eagle. Rise up, come into bent legs, and then I'm just going to sway my body like seaweed. Maybe it goes down, my head follows, or it floats up. My shoulders get involved, my hips get involved, my knees get involved, my back, spine get involved, my elbows, my joints are kind of involved here, even more, just by that swaying motion, by that creative action that we're taking on ourselves. And then coming up, releasing out of that. Remember what arm was underneath. Come on up. And exhale, take myself into a bend, and the opposite elbow comes under, and I come into this. And I want to go ahead, and you will know right now, what is it that your body is still asking for? Does it need twist? Does it need a little more side? Does it need a little more forward folding? Does your neck need something? Do your hips? So this is the time right now in this free flow is to find or listen to what the body is now saying to you that it still needs. And then rising up, releasing arms. Bring yourself up. Okay, just open up those hearts. Yeah. Exhale, hands come into our pockets right here. Okay. And we're going to just take a really wide-legged Ustrasana, camel pose. Pull the elbows and shoulders together. Let your heart and hips and everything pull forward. Find that beautiful back bend. Find that opening in your heart. Release the line. And then slowly exhale. And bring in those feet. And you guys can do this. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but bring your toes and legs all together. Bend into your knees. Come into yoga ball. Okay. So take your knees all the way, bend them down. Take yourself into a ball. I can't bend that knee that much, so I'm just going to fold as much as I can. Take yourself into your little yoga balls here. Tucking in the chin as much as you can, and 1, 2, your chest. Feeling that
hole opening the backside of the leg. And then from there,
Just take your seat to the ground. Let's find ourselves seated in easy pose. Whatever that will look for you and your body and your needs and your knees. And if you have blocks, this is a nice place at the end to support and just feel that kind of restoration that can happen and that we might feel a need for at the end of a practice. So sits bones are planted, crown reaches up, shoulders melt away. Just taking a few breaths here, eyes closed if you're comfortable. Breathing into any areas of your body that still are calling to you. Giving away any other stagnant energy. Listening to your body as it thanks you for what you've just done for it. Your mind is also saying thank you. It's a big meal inside. It's grateful. Just taking hands, cover your heart or heart center. The place in you where the universe dwells. Honoring that place in you where there is love and light and peace and joy. But when you are in that place in you, you are at that place in you, the universal love